iPhone 16 Pro, and I think I'm the first guy who ever flew that with success on an FPV drone. It's been one hell of a ride with so many things that could go wrong that went wrong. 3 crashes. Anyways, here's a footage of when I bought it at Fnac and then flew it the same day using this exact drone with this Ronin adapter that I later on broke. But anyways, here it is. So I'm walking to the store right now to pick up the new iPhone, and we're gonna put that on an FPV drone and fly it ASAP. First thing we're gonna do with this thing is put it on the drone. Already got this prepared. Do that and fly it. So yeah, join me as we go fly this right now. Grab my goggles. Let's go! You probably want to know, is it worth it? In my opinion, well, yes and no. Mostly no. But let me explain what works and what doesn't work. And there's a lot that doesn't work. So to start off with, from what I've gathered information here, and I could have gone into this much more, but I haven't had that much time. The 0.5 lens on this camera, that works on most drones I tried. It is very prone to vibrations and what kind of things you got going on your drone. So if you have a drone that's flying a little wonky, you're gonna have issues. On the 1X lens, which for me is probably my favorite lens to film with this when the camera is fixed, and I'll explain that in a bit. That also works as long as the drone is very well tuned. We can get into that immediately and just get all the nerd stuff out of the way. The drone I'm using is a Cinematix 5-inch. I would probably recommend this for this kind of platform because it's very versatile, it's very strong, it can lift heavy weights, and if you want to fly with a big battery and that gimbal, you can get some really smooth flights. So actually, I really like this platform for testing on, and especially if you want to, you know, mount the GoPro, the iPhone, or whatever camera a little bit further away, you can do that. Now let's get into what doesn't work. The 2x and the 5x zoom, hard mounted, just it's too hard. And I tried so many things. I even went and got this stupid expensive small rig filter, and the small rig case was such a pain to get working. Anyway, so 2x and 5x in slow motion, it did look cool. Now that got me so excited that day. And that's what really got me in this rabbit hole of how good can I get this to work. And in no way did I use any stabilization tools or the internal stabilizer on this, because that really makes the video quality go worse, and I didn't want that. I just don't want the video quality to be worse in any way. Crashes. Let's talk about the crashes that I had. So the first crash I had was very minor crash. My head was in the wrong place. I had my finger already armed and I was going for the control sticks, and I flipped it over and the drone just did a flip. Yeah, that happened, and nothing broke. Everything was fine. Pretty damn cool. Then I had another crash that's unfortunately not filmed for some reason. Sometimes while I was filming, it stopped filming, and I really don't know why. It's super weird. I just don't know why it stopped filming. And on one of these occasions, this it's actually a holder for the Ronin RS3 gimbal. And yeah, this part broke off inside. So I glued this shut now and it doesn't work anymore, so that will crash. And then I talked to the boys at FPV Frame and they were like, oh, you gotta get this guy, but they didn't have it in stock. So I saw this one from Nowhere, and I've had some stuff from them before. This on the picture really looked like it was aluminum or aluminum, and it's not, it's plastic. So I mean, I already knew, I tested it out, and this just shakes all over the place. It's garbage for this. I'm gonna use it on a tripod, but crap. Finally got my hands on this Joby, and I probably put a link in the description if you guys want one of these. And this did the thing. This is really good. It's really sturdy. Plug that on here, put the iPhone on there. You could even fly it with the ND filter, which was great for testing. And the ND filter does help make it a better image. With the vibration, it didn't help as much as I really wanted it to go. And when I'm talking about vibration, it's more like this jello effect. And that usually happens when the frame rate that you're shooting at hits the frame rate of the resonance of what's going on in your frame. And when those two align, you get the... You've probably seen that on your footage at some point. But then I said to myself, what if I put this gimbal on here and just flew it? And then I was like, it's an expensive crash. But then I remembered I was given this gimbal for free. I didn't pay for it. If it breaks, I don't use it that much. And yeah, so put that on there and flew it and just wonder what's gonna happen. And let's just put it this way, it's not perfect, but I was so amazed. I don't know what happened. All the jellos, all the vibrations, everything gone. It just worked and I was super happy. Oh, and I also went over to one of these batteries to make it even heavier. So it was screaming. I was getting like 5 minutes of flight time, which is amazing, but it was screaming. And I had this thing on here and I was flying and I was so happy. And then I was thinking, all right, now I want to do some ProRes shots with an external drive on here and the ND filter. And this gimbal just went, no way, Jose, that's not happening. It's a cheap gimbal. It's very good for its price, but it's cheap. And the motors are very, like, they're strong enough for any iPhone, but as soon as you put anything on the iPhone, you're done. So I even had to go out and buy this weight that you can actually put on here. So I got one of these weights so that I could use this with the ND filter. It sort of works. The problem is, like, if you do any radical moves, and I'm not talking flips, I'm talking like just a little snap turn, sometimes it'll go from the horizontal to the vertical and it'll just hold that way, and I haven't figured out anything to do with that. I would love to try other gimbals out, so if anybody who makes gimbals, anybody has a gimbal that is stronger than this and wants to lend me one or send me one that I can test, I would love to try that out. I think that's something that could be really cool. Yeah, but that actually worked pretty good. I did have one huge crash with this thing. I flew into a net. I couldn't see it in the O3 goggle, in the O3 system here, and I flew into a net like 2.5-3 meters high up, and it fell straight down and like it crashed. It is really amazing how well the gimbal works when it works. 2x zoom was the best thing, and flying with it, filming backwards or sideways is for me the most interesting. I wish I had more people with me so I could help me like lock into a subject and fly around something or somebody and have it more, you know, follow somebody. But I'll make a follow-up video to this thing, I promise, because I'm super excited about this platform. My recommendations for anybody who wants to try this is you should try it. Your iPhone is much more resistant than you would think. At least mine is still alive, but I crashed it 3 times, 2 quite bad, and I'm impressed, let me say that, about this and the drone. Testing all this, the only thing that broke was really this camera mount that should be in the trash, but I took it back out because I'm gonna take parts from it. But yeah, that was the only thing that really broke. No props, no nothing else. Everything worked fine, so I'm quite happy with it. But anyways, the images speak for themselves. And now to close this video out, all I want to say is I'm so happy that I tested this. I'm so angry at myself that this took 3 months to get done, and this is a project that will continue, and I am so eager to get another gimbal because I really think that the best part about flying the iPhone on a drone is with a gimbal. That's really where I started to see possibilities of what can be done, and I'm sure you guys want to see me do that too. So please help me out. I'm trying to get this channel going. Subscribe, like, whatever all these youngsters say. I need that too. Yeah, I might be starting a Patreon. I don't know yet. But anyways, I'm loving this and expect more from iPhone with an FPV drone. All right, guys, I gotta go because I got a ton of stuff to do. So peace out. iPhone is amazing.